History holds the answers, or does it? From forgotten maps to ancient secrets buried in plain sight, the world's greatest mysteries remain unsolved, and the truth lies hidden, waiting for you to uncover it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Histories, Mysteries, and Conspiracies. Season 2, Unraveling the Unknown. Where the past isn't just a story, it's a puzzle. Are you ready to piece it together? Murder most foul, as in the bested. But this most foul, strange, and unnatural. William Shakespeare. There are mysteries that fade over time, becoming stories told in whispers. And then there are those that persist, unanswered, haunting, and dangerously intriguing. The Zodiac Killer is one such enigma. A shadowy figure who prowled Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s, writing taunting letters and leaving behind a trail of terror. Despite decades of deciphering clues and chasing leads, the case remains unsolved, a maddening puzzle that still captivates conspiracy theorists and true crime enthusiasts alike. Let's step back into the darkness of that era and wade through the chilling murders, cryptic ciphers, and unnerving theories. Who or what was the Zodiac Killer? It began on a cold December night in 1968. On Lake Herman Road, two teenagers, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were enjoying what should have been a quiet evening together. Instead, they were ambushed and mercilessly shot, an inexplicable act of violence that would mark the beginning of the Zodiac's reign of terror. 7 months later, in July 1969, another young couple, Darlene Farron and Mike Mageau, were attacked in their car at Blue Rock Springs Park. Mike miraculously survived, though wounded, and provided a description of the shooter. But the horror was only beginning. In September of that same year, a tranquil afternoon at Lake Berryessa transformed into a nightmare. Dressed in a grotesque hood with a chilling crosshair symbol, the Zodiac tied up Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell before brutally stabbing them. Cecilia succumbed to her injuries while Brian lived to recount the horror. Finally, in October 1969, Paul Stein, a San Francisco cab driver, was gunned down in Presidio Heights. This particular murder stood out. The Zodiac left behind physical evidence in the form of fingerprints and eyewitness testimonies, yet he still slipped away. And here's the strangest part. These are just the confirmed murders. Speculation persists that the Zodiac may have been responsible for additional killings, both before and after his alleged spree. The Zodiac wasn't content with simply evading capture. After the Blue Rock Springs attack, 3 identical letters, boasting about the murders, arrived at newspapers. Each contained 1/3 of a cipher the killer claimed would reveal his identity. His instructions were clear: publish the ciphers on the front page, or more lives would be lost. But even when the first cipher was cracked, it revealed no name. Instead, it held a cryptic message about how the killer took pleasure in hunting humans, comparing it to hunting animals. A chilling claim, but still no closer to a definitive identity. Over time, more letters arrived, filled with threats, mocking law enforcement, and even including pieces of evidence from crime scenes. Along the way, the Zodiac sent postcards riddled with cryptic clues, offering tantalizing glimpses into a twisted mind. However, some of the ciphers remain unsolved to this day, leaving conspiracy theorists to wonder, do they contain the killer's true name, or was this another cruel joke? The Zodiac was not just a killer. He was a manipulative puppeteer of emotions. By involving the media, he ensured his crimes became a public spectacle, fueling fear across the region. Residents altered their routines, locking their doors earlier and steering clear of secluded areas. Law enforcement scrambled to manage the rising panic, and despite their best efforts, they seemed to be playing directly into the Zodiac's hands. The killer reveled in the chaos he created. His letters reference both confirmed and unconfirmed victims, causing paranoia to soar. Was every unexplained murder his doing? Or had he become a convenient boogeyman for unsolved crimes? Though decades have passed since the last confirmed Zodiac letter arrived, the theories surrounding his identity remain as persistent as ever. One name that consistently surfaces is Arthur Lee Allen. Allen was a troubled man with a history of disturbing behavior and a connection to the Zodiac's timeline. Circumstantial evidence pointed toward him. He owned a watch with the Zodiac's infamous crosshair symbol, and multiple acquaintances implicated him. Yet, DNA evidence and handwriting analysis failed to conclusively link him to the case. And what about Ross Sullivan, a library worker who looked eerily similar to sketches of the Zodiac? Then there's Richard Gaikowski, a newspaper editor whose name appeared in cryptic codebreak attempts. Another suspect, Lawrence Kane, allegedly matched survivor descriptions and had a history of criminal behavior. But not all theories are grounded in the conventional. Some have suggested the killer operated as part of a sophisticated group, explaining the varied descriptions and methods. Others wonder if the Zodiac was a government operative, exploiting the public as part of some dark experiment in psychological warfare. Every theory raises new questions instead of providing solid answers. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror wasn't only physical, it was psychological. Families of the victims continue to search for answers, haunted by the absence of closure. Investigators, both professional and amateur, remain obsessed with cracking the case. Even today, tech-savvy sleuths analyze the Zodiac's ciphers and explore emerging forensic technology, hoping to unlock the secrets hidden within. But the Zodiac Killer is more than just a case. He has become a cultural phenomenon. Books, films, documentaries, and copious online theories ensure the story stays alive. In a way, the Zodiac achieved a twisted form of immortality, cementing his place in the annals of unsolved American crimes. What made the Zodiac so elusive? Some argue he was a master manipulator, perfectly orchestrating his murders and media taunts to avoid capture. He knew when to strike, when to mislead, and when to disappear entirely. Others suspect his legend became larger than life due to fear and mystery. Could it be that part of his danger lies not in his actual skills or crimes, but in the mythos constructed by the media and public imagination? Then there's the possibility that the Zodiac wasn't as meticulous as we think. Perhaps luck, combined with the limitations of forensic science at the time, allowed him to slip away unscathed. In recent years, DNA profiling and advancements in cryptographic analysis have reinvigorated interest in the case. Programs like familial DNA tracing, which helped identify the Golden State Killer, raised the tantalizing possibility of finally unmasking the Zodiac. Additionally, citizen code breakers achieved a major breakthrough in 2020, solving a decades-old cipher. While the solved message didn't reveal the killer's identity, it showed the enduring dedication of those obsessed with cracking the case. Could the true Zodiac cipher, the one containing his name, still be out there waiting to be unlocked? The Zodiac Killer's story isn't just about the brutal murders or the spine-chilling letters. It's about the enduring mystery, a puzzle that defies time, logic, and closure. Decades later, we're left haunted by questions that hover at the edge of comprehension. Was he an unassuming man, blending into the crowd yet hiding a monstrous secret? Was he a master of manipulation, outsmarting an entire generation of law enforcement? Or was he someone who we never saw coming, a name we've never heard, a face we'd never recognize? Only one thing is certain. The Zodiac Killer remains a specter of fear and fascination, a mystery that refuses to fade. So, as we chase these unanswered questions, we leave you with the same taunt the Zodiac delivered over 50 years ago. I am waiting for a good mystery beef. Will the truth ever come to light? Or will the Zodiac Killer forever linger in the shadows, hiding just out of reach? Your guess is as good as ours. Bravo. Select an option for more.